All right, let's dive in. Today, we're exploring the incredible, invisible world that's all around us and, well, inside of us. We're talking about bacteria and viruses. And trust me, some of the facts we're about to get into are going to completely change how you think about these tiny, tiny powerhouses. So let's just kick things off with a number that is kind of guaranteed to blow your mind. 10 to 1. Any guesses? What could that possibly be the ratio for? Yep, you heard that right. For every single one of your own human cells, you've got about 10 bacterial cells living in and on your body. Just let that sink in for a second. Biologically speaking, you're more them than you are you. We are literally walking, talking ecosystems, just teeming with life. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wait, I'm outnumbered 10 to 1? That sounds a little alarming, doesn't it? But here's the thing. What if I told you that most of those tiny passengers are actually on our team? So first up, let's explore the world inside you and meet our bacterial allies. This, right here, is probably the biggest myth we need to bust right off the bat. We're so used to thinking of germs as the enemy, something to be destroyed, but the reality is the vast majority of bacteria we coexist with aren't just harmless. They are absolutely essential partners for our survival. So what do they actually do? Well, think of the bacteria in your gut as a microscopic personal chef crew. They break down all the tough stuff from fruits and veggies that our bodies just can't handle on their own. And beyond that, they act like a training camp for our immune system, helping it learn to tell the good guys from the bad guys, keeping it ready for anything. Okay, so we've established we're in a partnership with bacteria. But what about the other major player in this microscopic drama? Let's switch gears and talk about viruses, because they are a completely different ballgame. And this really lays out the biggest difference. Bacteria, they're living things. They eat, they reproduce, they're self-sufficient. Viruses, on the other hand, well, they're not really alive at all. They're more like tiny pirates with just a treasure map of genetic code. They can't do a thing on their own until they find a ship, a living cell, to hijack and force its crew to make endless copies of them. So, while viruses are these fascinating hijackers, let's not forget about the original masters of survival, bacteria. We've met the ones that call us home, but their relatives have conquered some of the most impossible places you could ever imagine, both on and off this planet. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. They're floating in the air we breathe, swimming in the deepest oceans, living miles down in the Earth's crust, and yes, even out there. Scientists have actually found bacteria toughing it out in the vacuum of space, just clinging to the outside of the International Space Station. They are truly the undisputed rulers of our world. And if you need more proof of how tough they are, just look at this. You've got species that just love chilling in boiling hot springs. We're talking 100 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit. At the same time, you have others that can survive being frozen solid inside a glacier for thousands of years and then just wake up when it thaws. It is absolutely mind-bending. All right, you've got the basics down, so now it's time to get a little weird. Let's do a rapid-fire round of some microscopic oddities that are going to make you question everything you thought you knew. Okay, pop quiz time. What do you think is bigger, a virus or a bacterium? I mean, pretty much everyone would say a bacterium, right? They're living cells, viruses are just these little bits of code. But is it really that simple? And here is the twist. Turns out, it's a trick question. Meet the Pandora virus. And it's named that for a reason, because finding it opened a box that changed everything we knew. This thing is an absolute giant in the virus world, so massive it's actually bigger than some types of bacteria. It just totally blurs the lines we thought were so clear. How cool is this? Seriously, deep down in the ocean where no sunlight can ever reach, some bacteria just decided to make their own light. It's a process called bioluminescence, and often they'll partner up with a fish or a squid, living inside them and glowing on command to help their host find food or a mate in the total darkness. You know, just when you think bacteria are these tough, untouchable survivors, it turns out even they have a nemesis. Meet the bacteriophage. The name literally means bacteria eater. These are viruses that have evolved for one and only one purpose: to hunt and destroy bacteria. It's like a constant invisible war happening all around us all the time. Let's hit you with one more staggering number. 20 minutes. That's it. That's less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite sitcom.
What on earth could possibly happen in just 20 minutes?
That's right. Under perfect conditions, that's how long it can take for a single E. coli bacterium to split and become two. And yeah, one becoming two doesn't sound like much, but just think about it. Two becomes four, four becomes eight. In just a few hours, one single cell can become millions. That incredible speed is their superpower. It lets them adapt and evolve faster than pretty much anything on this planet. And that brings us right back to where we started. We are outnumbered 10 to 1 by these tiny creatures that are essential for us to live, that can survive anywhere from boiling acid to the vacuum of space, and can reproduce in the time it takes you to make a cup of coffee. It really makes you stop and think. In this whole complex dance of life, are we the ones leading, or are we just the dance floor?